This is Chris. Today I want to talk a little bit more about this. As I said yesterday, we're going to do a little cost analysis comparison between this and real steak. And so that's what I'm going to do today. Let's just stick to the facts, shall we? This package is 28 grams. It has 23 grams of protein. You go to the store and look at the steak in your meat department, and it is anywhere from 19 to 27% protein. So, taking that range of figures, in other words, let's just settle on 25% because 25%, everybody understands that. And if we're talking about grams instead of ounces, no big deal, because a percentage is a percentage, whether it's a gram or an ounce. We can see that if a real steak is 25% protein, then if it was the same size as this, in other words 1 ounce or 28 grams, then a steak would have 7 grams of protein. And if we compare that 7 grams in a real steak to the 20, give or take, 23 grams in this, we can see that this has 3 times the protein per unit weight that a steak has. I think that's a pretty good explanation. I hope you're following along. Raise your hands if you are. Send me a note. Tell me I did well. But you can still like and subscribe, right? So, we've now established that per unit weight, this beef steak here has 3 times the protein that a regular steak has. So, given that fact, we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about cost, because cost is what really matters, right? I don't care how many grams of protein I got. What I really want to know is how much is that protein going to cost me? Well, we already went over this yesterday. Those 23 grams of protein in this are going to cost me $1. Right? It's going to cost me $1. If I want to buy a pound of this, it's going to cost me $16. And so to get an equivalent amount of protein, then I'm going to have to buy 3 times as much steak. And I hope you're following along with that, because the concentration of protein in this beef steak is 3 times higher than in a regular steak. So therefore, if I have to get the same amount of protein from real steak, I have to buy 3 times more, right? Doesn't that make sense? If real steak were $1 a package or $16 a pound, that would be $48 worth of steak. That's a lot of money. But we have one other thing to consider. Real steak does not cost $16 a pound. This does, but real steak does not cost $16 a pound. So what is our 3 pounds of steak going to cost us? Well, you know, it really does matter what cut of beef you get, but I think just for the sake of this argument, and of course now at this point, you know, you can go to your grocery store and you know how much meat costs. But I would suggest that a good lean cut of steak is around $8 a pound. I mean, chuck steak right now is $6, and that's got a lot of fat in it. I mean, that's not a lean cut at all. Even though I love my chuck steak cooked in the oven with onion and butter sauce. Yes, it makes a very nice snack. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I have had it for. My wife will chime in, I'm sure. Yes, I have in the past. Yes, cooked chuck steak that way, and I tell you what, I love it. But I digress. A good lean cut of steak, yeah, I think it's going to be about $8. I mean, a good grade, yeah. But $8 a pound is not $16 a pound. So if I have to buy 3 pounds, that's $24 for an equivalent amount of protein that cost me $16 here. I think the point that I'm trying to make is this isn't steak. No, It's not something, you don't make butter and onion sauce and put this in the oven and cook it up, and then no, you don't do that. But on the other hand, if you're looking for some kind of like emergency food, if you find yourself in a situation where you're without power for 2 or 3, 4, 5 days, this hurricane, I don't know where it's going. It could come up here, could knock down every tree in the yard. We've got several 75, 80, 100-foot trees here. If it knocked all those down and one of them fell on the house, what would we do? We've had ice storms here. We've had 2 feet of snow here, even in North Carolina. We've been without power, at least that I can recall, at least 3 times for over a week. Now, that's been over a 20-year span, but still, you never really know what's going to happen. And it's not like that you can bring steak home from Food Lion and put it in your cupboard and expect it to keep. This does. And so, it would be, in other words, what I'm really, really, really trying to say is this is a good deal. This is for what you get. It in absolute terms of usefulness, of nutrition, of of course it's got nitrates in it. I understand that. It's not like super duper, but if you're looking to just maintain and stay alive and carry on, it's a good deal. Even if you can find some flank steak on sale for $5 or so a pound, which we have recently, but it doesn't stay that way. It's still the same price per unit weight of protein. And so it's a good deal. In fact, it would be worth going to Food Lion. Well, when you think about the trouble it takes to make beef jerky, you have to get it, you have to slice it, you have to heat it up, you have to dry it out, you have to make sure it's dry enough. All that extra effort it takes, and when you can just go to Dollar Tree and buy one of these, it's not, there are far worse ways to spend your money than to buy a cabinet full of beef jerky to have on hand. You can eat a 16-ounce ribeye steak, or you can eat 5 of these. Same thing, same protein, exactly, and a lot cheaper. When it comes down to brass tacks, you never know what situation you might be in. So, I just thought I'd share that with you because it's like I don't know if there's any other snacks that really would come out so favorably in this kind of cost analysis. I'm pretty sure potato chips would not, or cheese doodles. No, I don't think so. And plus, you can't live on that kind of stuff. So this is kind of one of those. It's a snack, but it's not. But it can be a serious food as well. And so that's. I think that's kind of why I picked it. Yeah, because I've always thought of it more as real food rather than just something to chomp on while I'm watching a movie or something. So anyway, if you've been edified by this, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it when you do, and we will see you on the next one.